Today we're starting our deep dive into the INTASC Standards, beginning with Standard 1, Learner Development. Let me read you the key statement first. It's powerful, and it's the foundation for all good teaching. It says, "The teacher understands how learners grow and develop, recognizing that patterns of learning and development vary individually within and across the cognitive, linguistic, social, emotional, and physical areas, and designs and implements developmentally appropriate and challenging learning experiences." Let's take a breath with that. This standard reminds us that development isn't linear or one size fits all. Every student comes into our classrooms with a different shape, a different rhythm, a different story of becoming. And our job isn't to mold them into sameness. It's to help them become more themselves through learning that makes sense to them. Now, as you've been following our course, you know I want us to understand these standards through our theory of understanding. So let's start there. Let's start with the idea of embodied understanding. As I've been suggesting, understanding happens in and through our bodies, through our interactions with form, material, purpose, function, and affordances. Development, then, isn't just something we study. It's something we feel and respond to. When you recognize a student's learning pattern, you're noticing the form of their understanding, its shape, pace, and rhythm. When you adjust your teaching to meet that form, you're engaging with the material of the learner, the real lived body and mind in front of you. And when you help them grow, you're aligning with the purpose of education itself, to support the flourishing of the learner. Let's break it down. It's got 3 parts: performance, knowledge, dispositions. Performance. Teachers who embody Standard 1 actively design and adjust instruction based on where the student is developmentally, not just where the curriculum says they should be. That means you notice when a student needs more time or a different kind of challenge. You respond with tasks that stretch them just enough, like a climbing hold that's within reach but not too easy. You build experiences that feel like a just right push. Think of it as respecting the form and movement of learning. The second piece is essential knowledge. You need to understand human development, not as abstract stages in a textbook, but as living patterns. This means knowing that cognitive growth may not align with emotional readiness, recognizing that a student's language development affects how they express understanding, understanding that physical changes, especially in adolescence, can dramatically affect attention and engagement. This is knowing the materials of development, the real human capacities we're working with. And we have critical dispositions. This is the heart of the standard. It's not just about what you do or know, but how you see your students. You value each student's unique developmental path. You're committed to seeing the whole child, not just test scores or academic outcomes. You believe that growth is possible, and that difference is not deficiency. You approach each student with curiosity, empathy, and an openness to learn from them, because understanding is relational. It arises in the space between bodies, between perspectives. So final thoughts. Here's the big idea for Standard 1. To teach well, we need to understand how humans grow, not just in theory, but in felt experience. That means seeing learners not as empty vessels or problems to fix, but as complex, embodied beings in motion. INTASC Standard 1 asks us to become more attentive. Our understanding frameworks helps us do just that. It helps us see the shape of learning in action. Teaching starts with seeing, and that's what Standard 1 is all about.